Yes. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Lion's Den with Seth. Y'all, we here in the building. If this is your first time on this episode or even the show, what we focus on is leadership, growth, development with a call to action from the household to out in the community. You know what I'm talking about? So hopefully you're about that life. Miss Danny, how you feeling, ma'am?
It's a crazy day. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Why is it crazy?
Moving. Then we just had an event that kind of pushed me back in time. So between moving and then coming to be present here, and then directly after this, another interview. So it's a hectic day, but I'm happy for today and our guest.
There you go. Good. Flexibility is the key to everything. It was a time when only air power, but it's everything. It's life. Debris, what's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, what's up, man? All is well. How you guys?
Man, slow motion, man. How's your weekend?
It's been good, man. Like I was saying, backstage, busy yesterday working, and then today, just enjoying football, man. Enjoying the Cowboys getting their head beat in. Yeah.
Already. Last but not least, Big Herm, what's going on, Mr. Handyman? What's up?
Man, I'm enjoying watching my Volunteers, but my Titans letting me down. But I am the handyman now.
Now, why is that, brother? What did you do?
Well. See, here's the thing. People. There's a running joke about me that I don't know how to use tools or whatnot, like Phillips head and flathead screwdrivers.
Okay.
Right? But I do. And so, my garbage disposal has been out for a while. So, I just had to figure out why it's out. So I had to change the switch out. Mm-hmm. Now, come to find out, my power was still running through it. And I changed it with the electrical current still going through it. But hey, I'm hearing all as well. And now I'm Handy Herman.
Goodness gracious. Or you was about to be handless, Herman.
Man, I'm about to be dead.
Man, that's so damn ridiculous. Anyway, everybody, but look, again, welcome to the Lion's Den, y'all. We're going to have a great discussion today. So before we go into the introduction of our guests, what do y'all feel about healthcare products, hair, and skin? What are your thoughts about that?
I was thinking about this. There was a time growing up where all you had to do is just lather your face with Vaseline. But now the regimen has evolved. So I'm excited about today's guest.
Mm-hmm. What you think, Herm, as far as, let's just go with the skin. Any type of hair, skin, products for your beard.
Like I bought my whole life. See what I'm saying? Yeah, dang, slow down. As a matter of fact, when Jabri knew me, I had hair on my head.
Hey, yeah.
Exactly.
You was that guy.
See, and I was more of a pink lotion kind of man. You know what I mean? I take that pink lotion, shake the bottle up real good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And go through my curls. You know what I'm saying? I don't know much about like the skincare stuff like that. I use Jergens. Cocoa butter, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's about it, man. So, I'm gonna be interested in talking to Mr. Brandon backstage. He had a lot of information, you know what I'm saying, in that short amount of time that we talked that I look forward to hearing what you got to say.
Absolutely. What's going on, Miss Patrice? As you guys can see, she says, I look for natural products, no toxins that can cause damage to my skin or hair. Absolutely. What's going on, Miss Brandy? What's going on? So look, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to introduce our guest. Very excited, y'all. So his name is Brandon Hunter. Okay, he's a visionary founder and scientist behind Origin of Greatness. All right, he's a pioneer. It's a pioneer company dedicated to creating wellness products for cosmetology, as far as skin and hair, specifically for African Americans. All right, so he's armed with dual degrees in biochemistry, nutrition science from Purdue. As a matter of fact, Purdue University. Brian combines scientific connections with his entrepreneurial spirit and offer a innovative, effective solution in wellness industry. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me to bring in Brandon Hunter, y'all.
How's everybody doing?
What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
I'm blessed. I can't complain about anything at all. I'm glad to be here.
Right on, man. So look, just tell our audience a little bit about yourself, man, and a little bit behind your why.
Okay. So I am 26 years old. Currently, I'm probably the youngest scientist in St. Louis. My background is in biochemistry and nutrition sciences, so I consider myself a scientist of sorts. Again, I'm kind of well versed in a little bit of agriculture, different science concepts. So I kind of say I'm kind of conceptually gifted and maybe able to understand things from the smallest of molecules that you don't see and maybe can't pronounce or comprehend to maybe like the big life concepts of everyday life that we're doing today. I can definitely say that my why is I do this because I would say just as a Black male, this is a role that is not heavily talked about. It's not heavily promoted. It's not something that we see a lot of in a positive light, in a consistent manner. And it's something that the youth actually need to see, especially with me being kind of in that mid range. Again, for me, only be 26. I have younger siblings, a younger brother who I'm 10 years older than, and so I'm not too far away from my childhood and people who were where I see myself not too long ago, as well as I'm able to connect to people who are older than me, and so just to be able to know that I understand and have a good grasp of things, and on both ends of the spectrum. I can consider myself kind of like as a translator and somebody who's able to comprehend life and be able to kind of convey different aspects of life to a wide variety of people.
Nice.
Cool.
Nice.
Very neat. Brandon, I did not have a chance to see you backstage, but thank you so much for being here. I heard you say your why is extremely important and why you do what you do. Did you know going in that this was your why, that you were going to do this to basically break boundaries for other people of color? Or did you just go in there because you saw that being a biochemist was going to be something long-term for you? What was it when you went to school? What was the why when you went to college?
I would say I didn't necessarily specifically know my why going into college, but I knew my why my entire life as a kid. So I could say, like, at my kindergarten graduation, they gave everybody a mic and we all had to say what we wanted to be when we grew up. And so even as a kindergartner, I said I wanted to be a scientist because my dad actually worked in big pharma. He was in management for like 32 years. So I thought my dad was a scientist at the time, not really knowing he was in management. But he understands and got me exposed to a lot of things with science. And then later on, I would say maybe in my early teens, I said I want to be a businessman because I saw a lot of like the Russell Simmons Rust Card commercials and kind of like the early entrepreneurial life on BET, like early in the mornings and things like that, prior to when being an entrepreneur became like the newest trend as it is today. So I always knew that science and business, because I was associated business with money, was kind of my area. I always knew that those were two different things. I originally thought I wanted to be an engineer because, when you're in high school, guidance counselors, you might have a good one, you might not. But I kind of decided when you get to that point of what you have to decide what you want to do, that's kind of a tough situation that we put young people in. It's like, okay, you need to decide what school you want to go to so you can figure out what you want to do with the rest of your life. That's very wild. Seeing that at that age, it's hard to see, what you want for dinner or just to see past a certain point conceptually. So I thought I wanted to be an engineer largely because I looked up salaries of companies on Google. Honestly, I looked up salaries. I looked at projections. I said, well, if this company looks like it's not going to be useful in the future, I'm not going to do that. I knew things, kind of related to like the arts was not really my thing. I'm more logical and fact-based. I can figure out a solution, think through something critically. And so I was like, well, I'll just be an engineer because engineers are supposed to make a lot of money. Until I actually, started talking to people in colleges. And I actually asked, what does an engineer do? And somebody told me, they said, starting out, you most likely would be facilitating operations and doing projects in factories. And I was like, okay, well, thank you for telling me that. I don't think that's something I would actually want to do. And so I thought I wanted to be in engineering. I applied to Penn State. I got in, but not for engineering. I wanted to go to Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech told me no, and so I went to Purdue. I got in, but I had to pick another major, and so I liked biology. I was good at biology. I was good and liked chemistry because I had a good chemistry teacher. So I was like, I chose biochemistry, but I didn't realize that the biochemistry that I chose at Purdue was the College of Agriculture's biochemistry and not the College of Science biochemistry. And even still, I was ignorant. I was like, well, I don't want to like agriculture. I'm not kind of like from the suburbs or like, I'm not really into urban life or farm life or anything. And that's what I was thinking. Not really realizing that, I got involved with MANUS, which is minorities in agriculture, natural resources, and related sciences. Not really realizing all of the technological advancement that goes into agriculture, the chemistry and biological concepts that go into agriculture, the government policy aspects that go into agriculture, and the lack of representation that's in agriculture that our country needs. And really seeing that if you don't eat, you're not living. So once I got in and was exposed to those things, I was able to become more open to what was to come, which was me actually pursuing my biochemistry degree. I added on nutrition sciences again because I've always liked food, but biochemistry was very theoretical, and instead of me switching majors, as again, they put a lot of stipulations and stereotypes on us. X percentage of people change their major. X amount of people don't finish within 4 years. Well, I got 2 degrees in 4 years. I studied abroad 3 times within those 4 years. I
there you go.
2 businesses while doing all of that. I joined Alpha Phi Alpha, the best fraternity in the world. So I did a lot in spite of most people not graduating in 4 years, in spite of you're going to change your major 2-3 times and things like that. So
there you go.
Okay.
Oh, that's good. We're going to move on and get you some more questions in there, okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Hey, so hey, it's very nice meeting you, man. I'm really impressed with all your credentials and how much you've accomplished in such a short amount of time. As a father of 2 daughters, almost 23 and almost 20 years old, one licensed cosmetologist and soon to be licensed esthetician, I tend to get thrust in that position of hearing about and learning about a lot of things that I had no interest in when it comes to skincare, man. But as far as skincare for our culture, there are a lot of things that are missing. There are a lot of products that aren't really good for us that are marketed to us. So what made you actually want to get into the skincare line and produce something that is natural for our culture and something that is actually healthy for us?
I would say, just to be simple, I'll say 3 things. I would say, growing up, my parents always harped on me about presentation. So, making sure you look good, well-groomed, things like that. So whenever I going to a PWI, finding a barber who was going to be able to cut my hair, a black barber, that was a difficult thing to do, let alone being able to do that. Not having a car, being on campus. So there's that situation. I would say too, just being able to recognize that, especially going to a PWI and just thinking over my life, a lot of the beauty supply stores and packaging for cosmetic and beauty supplies have people that look like me. And as I'm learning more, we are the people who are, pretty much pushing and fueling this industry, whether it be marketing wise or financially. And then I'd say the biggest thing that kind of turned the tide for me was, as I'm learning more about sciences and molecules and things like that, I was learning about melanin. And melanin is what we assume makes black people black, and people of color, gives people pigment. That's basically what the molecule does. But once I saw that the price that melanin actually costs, so there's actually a price that our black has. There's a value that our black has too.
What is it? It's like $530 per gram. If I'm not,
it's just about it. So basically, our black is gold. So me seeing that, I'm like, oh, it's like that. Okay, so it's not I go where money is. I am where the money is. They knew this, but now that I've awoken to it, let me not only let me not only expand and be able to dive and see how I can show the value, and not only just the value, because value varies, but the quality of my value, because this is something that they already knew. It's just something that a lot of us don't and probably will never wake up to unless if somebody says so.
Mm-hmm. All right, that makes sense.
I appreciate that.
Hey, so going into your products, right? How did you start your research? Like, what began your research into finding out? Okay, this is what I want my skincare products to be. How did you formulate that?
So when I was again at a PWI, I was spending a lot of money that I didn't even have on products to maintain my appearance. So I'm not gonna lie, like I was partying like Thursday to Sunday. And still, I was still going to class, but I was going to parties, hosting parties. But I always made sure that I looked presentable around campus. Like I dressed my first 2 years, I dressed like I lived on campus. I dressed, shoes, clothes, like I was with it. And with me having a difficult time finding a barber, I was like, I'm gonna grow my hair out. I was investing a lot in my beard. And so there was that on my end. But then I would say my sophomore year, my mom called me one night before I was getting ready to go to a party. And something really told me that this was a phone call I really needed to pick up. And so I was talking to my mom, we were talking, but I could just hear something different in her voice. And so I'm the type of person, I'm very direct. I want to get right to what's the problem. But I maintained and entertained the conversation. Then she came out and told me that she had got a sew in. The lady threaded the needle through her scalp, and it resulted in her having a head wound. And so she had lost about, I'd say, like a bald spot about this size in her head. And so before she hung up the phone, she said, I know you studying, chemistry at school. She said, I need you to figure something out. I said, okay, Mom, I got you. So I hung up the phone. And I was like, okay. So I'm mad because, I come from a Christian background. So it wasn't like I'm a sue, we're going to get this money or anything like that. I just heard my mom I heard the distress of what she was feeling. I heard what she was feeling. And I in my mind, like my mom's crown is damaged because our hair is our modern day crown. So hung up the phone, went to the party. But the next morning, it was like I was activated. It was like I knew what it was. I told my mom, I gave her a few different oils and things to use. And I would say probably within about a month and a half, I had a prototype kind of already put together to start helping my mom on her journey to regrow her hair. And so my mom's process was about 8 or 9 months because I was there. So I would come home during certain breaks to monitor her progress. But that put the battery in my back to like really kind of take it serious. And even at school, from what I was making, I had my friends tried, and I was on average, people were saying they were noticing results within about 3 weeks to a month for less severe cases. So getting those results, I had faculty, I had students trying it, and that kind of made me switch. And this was my second thing. I originally started cleaning, customizing, and repairing shoes because I was looking to make a natural plant-based organic shoe cleaner. And that's what I was really looking to do with Manners at first. But when my mom called me and that situation happened, I kind of maintained both at the same time, but I really started to switch gears once I kind of started collecting more of that feedback and data on my hair product that I had developed.
Okay. All right. Well, look, so this is my question. I'm going to put it out there. What are your thoughts with the type of hair products for men and women, and even the eyelashes? Okay. It's an abundance of those, right? What do you think about those products and how we put certain things on our skin that is damaging to our skin, and what do you recommend, and why should they actually look at your products versus other products?
I like that question. You're trying to I'm not gonna get in trouble, but what I will be honest. I will say a lot of the products on the market are full of fragrances, fillers, synthetic ingredients. A lot of big companies are going to buy from small businesses like me who have taken the time to develop products with genuine and clear intent. I'm not really in the game to make money. I'm in the game to be a representative for our people, to provide solutions to what a lot of people are living with. Now, a lot of big companies, they might display themselves as looking to do the same, but we already know the higher you go, it's about the money at the end of the day. So when it comes to cutting costs so you can make the most as far as like your margins go, that's where we see a decline in a lot of products. And we've seen it. We've seen it with quite a few companies. We've seen it with Shea Moisture. We've seen it, Eco Style. So a lot of these products start out again being Black owned and derived from Black people, and then they get to a certain point. Then we all simultaneously say, the quality isn't like it was before, and it's not on that person's behalf. It's because of the higher entities that take it, and then they want to expand their portfolio and the profits that they get, so they start cutting corners, and we suffer. So you get a product that's working for you, then that person sells it. Now it's no longer as effective as it was before. It's like a negative feedback loop. So it's like, why would I cure something whenever I can look like I'm going to cure it, only for you to have to come back to? Similar to like you were mentioning with the lashes. A lot of not too many people, unless you have like a genetic mutation, or I think maybe people who are born with albinism might not have eyelashes. So the general population has eyelashes. Why do you need to put another set of eyelashes on your eyelashes? You might not like the eyelashes that you have, but the typical person doesn't have any at all. So when you put extra eyelashes on those lashes, the adhesive or the glue that they're using is most often filled with chemical toxins. As a matter of fact, most glues, I was surprised that you can even buy super glue without having an ID now. So,
wow.
Inadvertently, you using a glue to get those fake lashes to adhere to your lashes, you're damaging the lashes that you were born with. So now, again, a negative feedback loop. Now you have to spend money for something that you were born with, and it's tearing up the things that you were born with for you to keep buying the things to make you think that you need them, which you do need. You do need eyelashes because they protect your eyeballs from dust and debris and things of that nature. So it's all a money game. And we're going to spend because we think that the things that we need, our physical and physiological needs that need to be met, those do need to be met. So we have needs that need to be met because presentation is important, but we're also damaging ourselves, and it's sending us back to them to get the things that we need to be filled.
Wow. All right, Danny. What you
By the way, I'm sure another thing that sets you apart, Brandon, is your unique value proposition. It's not all of those people who have those products are scientists as well. So that's another unique value proposition. But I'm going to divert very quickly. I want to get into your personal life. So back in my day, and I'm almost 40, believe it or not, smart guys used to finish last. So I'm just wondering, as a scientist, and I don't know your story, I don't know if you are spoken for or not, but does that give you more play with the ladies, being as though you have the credentials to back it up? Or are people still like, I don't know, just the whole smart guy? Is that still a thing?
Honestly,
hold on. Don't answer that. Not yet. Not yet, damn it. Okay, everybody know what's happening right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is happening?
You sure? Hey, hold on. Look, before we answer that, look, I do want to thank everybody for tuning in right now. Y'all, we got Mr. Hunter up in the building getting poached. Okay.
You miss every shot you don't take, man.
Hey, what
you miss every shot you don't take. You miss every shot you don't take.
I'm a podcaster. I'm asking the questions the ladies want to hear, okay?
Danny.
All right, hold on.
Danny Curry.
Hey, already. Go ahead, brother.
Honestly, it's not even. I feel like since I'm moving in my purpose, I'm looking at. I would say, yeah, I don't really worry about it because I once I realized that I was moving in my purpose, I say a prayer. I say, God, keep those who are meant to be around me, near me. Anybody who's not meant to be near me, remove them from me. So if we meet and the energy, the timing, the situation is right, okay. If we don't click, I'm not gonna force you to be in my life, nor am I gonna force myself to be in anybody else's life. So as far as who finishes first, who finishes last, all I know is I'm gonna finish, because what they say now, what if you live to be 25-year-old Jesus? It's like at this point you just gotta live.
Good answer. Good
Survival
answer.
is the name of the game.
Good answer. Yeah.
Hey,
All
so
I love it. I love it. I love it, Brandon.
Go ahead.
Hey.
Trick question.
No, it wasn't a trick question. It was pretty direct. Damn it.
No, it was.
hey,
Go ahead.
so I'm gonna reel this back in, right?
Thank you.
So I again, I have two daughters. My youngest daughter has been we've been battling with eczema her entire life. And when I found out you were going to be on the show, I actually asked her questions. Well, I gave her the task to ask me some questions that I think that she'd want to hear. And so for her, we've been going through all the different things. We kind of talked about it prior to the show about her being issued steroids at some point. We've gone through different creams, different types of, just about everything. We worked on diet type things. Her mom's done a great job, but she still seems to battle that. It's still an uphill battle. So, have you done any extensive research or anything that you know about eczema that may be able to help the audience and my daughter specifically?
Okay, so I have done some research. I will not say extensive. I will say, so my products are tailored for people with skin sensitivities. So when I say skin sensitivities, it's kind of like a broad term for different problems that can happen with the skin. Your skin is your largest organ. It's your barrier. So, of course you want to take care of that. I will say, eczema, psoriasis, and even although we see alopecia as hair loss, alopecia is actually considered a skin sensitivity. Mm-hmm. But to your point of eczema specifically, I do know, like my sister, she even had it very bad. And so, of course, you're going to have hydrocortisone, the hormonal, the steroids, which do kind of play with hormones and things like that on a more molecular level. Like you said, you touched on eating habits. You touched on just, lifestyle, environmental things. Everybody's biology is different. But what I can say is, and with my products, I pride myself on my products being simple in ingredients. So most people, I always encourage people, not only just my products, but when you go to the store or we have technology. So use apps like Think Dirty, use apps to scan these barcodes and see what's in these products. Look up what these chemical names that they're using, so you can be able to see this ingredient is an irritant. This ingredient throws people's hormones off. This ingredient is associated with cancer or infertility. Just being more mindful of the products that we use, because on one end of the spectrum, a lot of us swear and live by shea butter. Shea butter is just shea butter. It should just be one thing, shea butter, right? But then on the other spectrum, we can have a product that has 20-something ingredients. Do you really need 20-something ingredients for the simple task of moisturizing your skin? Because you got that one thing, that shea butter, the shea butter and all its nutrients, your body's gonna take it in. It's gonna, your body's gonna absorb it, bloodstream, whatever the case might be. Shea butter is natural. These 20 ingredients, this as a whole, this one product that you put on your skin, all of these 20 constituents of this product is now going to enter your body. And now, once it enters your body now has to filter out and work with whatever chemistry and molecules, whether they are toxic, whether they are hormone destabilizers, whatever they are, your body now has to work, fight, and adapt to whatever you're using. So I would just say everybody be mindful of what you're using and be observant. That's why I always tell people, I give a recommendation for using my product. I say use it twice a week, once every 3 to 4 days. Now, the typical person is probably going to want to use it every day, but I always say everybody's porosity is different. You have to know how to use something. You need to know what it's like when it's on you, and you need to know when your body has used it, and when you know you need to apply more. But if you're just applying it, and you don't really give yourself a chance to actually need to put more on, then you never know what it's like when you go without it.
Mm.
Right.
So it's all about being mindful. Like in this physical world that we live in, you have to be mindful of what you put in your body, and what you put on your skin is gonna make it into your body as well. So and another thing, quality. My background, I worked in the quality areas of food, beverage, and pharmaceuticals, and so all things are not created equal, and quality is big. So I would say whatever products your daughters use, or whatever she uses for her clients, try to get the best quality of things. High quality is oftentimes associated with costing more, but we also hear the term "you get what you pay for." So that's another thing to consider as well.
All right.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Hey, look, Big Herm, let me ask this question real smooth from my audience. Okay, this again is coming from Miss Brandy. Appreciate you. She says, so I'm pretty much allergic to life, especially in regards to my face. I'm allergic to sunscreen, which eliminates most cosmetic products for me. Do your products contain any SPFs? What is that?
So SPF is, so to answer your initial question, no. My product line is very simple right now. So my my company, I'm marketing it as a cosmeceutical company. So it's the gray area between cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. So and I can get into more of that later. But the second part of the question is, as far as SPF, SPF is like a substance or molecule, or however the industry wants to categorize it, basically as something to provide like a barrier of protection against radiation produced, or the radiation that we experience from the sun. It's kind of tricky, but in a sense, no, I don't use SPF. There are natural things. I believe maybe carrot. I believe carrot oil maybe has some type of SPF protection, or some type of like sun protection. It's not magnesium oxide. I believe it's magnesium oxide that also does kind of has some natural layer of SPF protection as well. But again, it all kind of comes down to everybody's biology being different, and as well as kind of knowing where you stand. So I'm not against doctors. I would definitely say take what they say and kind of use it as a guide, so you know how to navigate the life that you live and the body that you are housed in. But I don't think that it's something that you should be necessarily like scared of as far as like certain products. And again, it all comes down to the quality of certain things too. So I think that's definitely something I could look into more for you if you would like me to. But I really can't give. I really don't want to go too deep into it right now.
Oh, no, that's good. That's a good answer. Uh-huh.
So I have a question. Something I struggle with when I hear it. When I hear about skincare products or products in general talking about being vegan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I understand a vegan diet and all that type stuff, eating vegetables, but why is it important for me to know that somebody's product, like lotion or whatever, is vegan? Explain that to me.
Okay, so
it makes sense.
Well, I mean, let's think about it. So honestly, I tell people, whether they care or not, that my hair sheen that is used by a lot of people who experiencing hair loss or alopecia, all of the ingredients in there are vegan and kosher certified. So the vendor that I use, I look at the SDS, so I look at the safety data sheets, I look at the spec sheets, because as a scientist, that's what I was accustomed to working with. So I look at all the tests that they ran on it, and so it passes the certificate. It passes the all of the tests and checks all the boxes for it to be considered vegan, for it to be considered kosher. There's a variety of natural groups and like foundations that can provide these types of certifications to the cleanliness of the production process. But when it comes to being or eating vegan, that just goes to show that there's no type of animal byproducts a part of it. So and even so, I will kind of, and they might not be directly correlated, but even cruelty free. So vegan is, in a sense, saying that there are no animal byproducts or animal parts used in the making of the product. So if we're having vegan tacos, there's no cheese, there's no dairy cheese, there's no There's no chicken. There's nothing from an actual animal or byproduct of the animal in those tacos, right? So that's what we're essentially saying is there's no, and it can even be in a facility where there is no type of animals or animal byproducts in that facility of processing. And also I kind of connected cruelty free is because a lot of cosmetic and pharmaceutical companies test on animals, right? So you have animals that are a part of this production product process for human consumption, whether it be for us to eat or for us to use certain products. So some people might not care if a couple rats or rabbits are harmed in the making of the new line that's going to be in Macy's, but some people do. Some people might have a certain stance where they feel like all rabbits and all mice have the same right to live as each one of us. And that's where it just kind of comes down to where do we all stand when it comes to the life that we live and the organisms in this ecosystem of this life that we all live with as well. Because as disconnected as certain things may seem, everything is connected. You just have to be able to kind of be able to see and conceptually connect the dots. So it's all about, do you want animal in your taco? Do you want actual chicken, or do you want to actually a substitute? That's the choice.
No, makes sense. I didn't even think about it like that. Did you ever think about it like that? I mean, obviously if we're eating it, right? But using it on your skin or whatever, it's like an idea. Hey, no animal was killed in the process of this. What you think?
I never thought. I like the way he broke it down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I never, when I pick up my lotion, I never would think about that. Like, right. Hey, did they put this lotion on a rat before they put it on me? I never would have thought that. You know what I mean? So
I'm glad you did. Oh, God,
you know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of ashy ass rats running around because they ain't on, man.
Right. I mean, but still, it makes sense, right? Because I mean, they have to test the products, right? That too. They have to test it. And obviously, well, shit, I don't know. Look, they might try them on animals first, but who knows? But thank you for that. That's a great question and great answer. So my question is, what is it that you have seen in the past as far as the evolution of healthcare products, right? And what it has been, doing to individuals of color. For example, those individuals that are so, I would say, consumed with the media, social media, and just wanting to look a specific way so that they will use skin products, hair products to even change the complexion of their skin. What do you think about that?
Again, when I was in college, we were spending a lot of money on to look good, a lot of money that we didn't have. And so I asked myself, because I know, and at the time I knew a lot of people and I was very social. And so I'm wondering, why is everybody saying the same thing? Why and when I was, traveling and doing different things and I wasn't in my room as much, I would come back and I'm like, my things are so my friends would actually be going through something like my cabinet and looking at the products that I had. Some of my friends would tell me, they'd be like, yeah, we know you got the good stuff. So once I started making my own stuff and giving stuff away, they were like, I've been waiting to use this. I just haven't had the money to buy it. But my question that I came to terms with was, if there are so many options on the market, why is everybody still saying that their skin is dry? Why is everybody still complaining about their hair? Why is everybody still unhappy with what we're all spending money, but why is everybody still unhappy with what we're spending our money on? That's what I really had to ask myself. I said, so I tried this product. I've seen the ad for this product. It looks interesting. But then I also, a follow-up question to that was, of the products that I bought, how many of them did I actually like enough to use to completion? There were none. And so it's just like we get on this roller coaster of just buying whatever's trendy, whoever the hottest artist is at the time, or whoever is in the spotlight, and they're going to promote this product. You're going to buy the product, and you can think about the placebo effect. You can like the product because you're kind of conditioned to like the product, because nobody wants to be the person to go against the grain. And if we all go out to eat and you all like your plates. But I'm not really one to fall into peer pressure. If I don't like something, I don't like it. But for most people would say, yeah, I like it, even when they probably don't, because the general group might like the meal that we all had, right? So we all are saying our hair is dry, our skin is dry, something's too oily, something's too greasy. Quite a few products, and most people have multiple products in their holy grail lineup. But just like people, products don't always work well together. Products don't always like each other. If you use certain products, and I can name quite a few, they were known for flaking up. They would make your hair too greasy. They would get in your clothes, be messy. And now you're dealing with something that you're supposed to just kind of put on and forget about, just so you look good over the course of the day. And it only adds to people's insecurity of how they look, because now you're not in your bathroom anymore. So I think it really just kind of came down to, how can I alleviate these things that it seems like we are spending money on, but we're not getting the answers that we want. We're not really making any progress. We're really not.
No, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense. And look, Miss Danny, I'm going to pass this on to you. But before I do, I want to give you a personal shout out. Thank you for getting your folks over here, right? They shouting you out. We appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think y'all realize that we wouldn't be able to do what we do if it wasn't for individuals like you, right? So we do have a network of individuals all around the world. Hitting that share button, ladies and gentlemen, only take 2 seconds. You never know who you could help in the process of it, right? Stop acting funny or light skin. It ain't a good look. Go ahead, Danny.
Yeah, so I think I heard you say you were like the youngest to graduate when you graduated. So what's been the biggest learning curve for you in your industry so far?
Well, I said I was the youngest scientist in St. Louis, but
okay,
I will say I just make myself a sponge. I know that I know a lot to some, but I know there's so much more that I don't know. So I have to kind of shift gears of my perspective. So to some people I know a lot, but I know if I put myself in a different group of people, I can know absolutely nothing. So I'll shift my perspective and say, okay, I might know a lot here, but let me put what I know into another place where I know nothing and add. And so I just want to continue to become a sponge instead of building up on what I know and trying to be an expert, but being isolatedly ignorant to so many other areas that could be beneficial. And again, because I can kind of see how things are interconnected, by me taking in so much information, it only makes me more well-versed to be able to transcend into different avenues and arenas and different demographics of people. Of honestly different ages, races, ethnicities, all because of me being able to just shut my mouth, open my ears, and to be able to ask questions to let somebody else teach me, educate me, and to be able to add on to my and to be able to shift my perspective.
No, that's a good one. That's real good. Go ahead, Jabring. This on you.
Hey, first, I'm still laughing about ashy rats. I can't get that out of my head. Secondly, man, as a fellow entrepreneur, right? What I've seen to I wouldn't say struggle, but what I've seen to have to fully adjust to is meeting expectations of my customers and trying to stay ahead of the power curve to ensure I'm providing the right services for what people want and trying to anticipate those different things, right? So in your line of work, what are you currently working on? Or if you're working on some things that are to come out, I don't want you to spill everything that you got going on, but at the same time, are you working on some things that are coming out or something that people are going to be wanting or looking for in the future?
Yes. So I'm actually right now I'm focused on rolling out my newest product. So I have magnesium salts. But I also have I infuse them. So I again just seeing how the pandemic went, seeing the aftermath of it, people living with long COVID, people still experiencing hair loss, people experiencing things after having COVID or after taking the vaccine, and hearing their stories compared to how their quality of life was and their lifestyle was before, and just kind of just seeing how and knowing how the industry is. What I decided to do was I said, and I also know the area that I'm in. I said I'm going to make up. So I said I have a hair product, I have a skin product. So I want an overall body maintenance product, because a lot of people I know are higher in age, and a lot of people are living with aches and pains and sore joints. And I don't know too many people who are raised with positivity when they're in pain. Similar to I don't know too many people who are happy when they're hungry. So I said, well, let me do some research. Let me look, and I considered writing a kid's nutrition book. And so I kind of went through my nutrition notes and my projects, and magnesium stuck out to me. So I kind of started looking at magnesium. Of course, when you say something, these phones are listening. So then I just started saying different things about magnesium, people talking about it. But I know how big pharma works. I know how certain things are. And so I started doing research. And so I got my hands on some magnesium bath flakes. So I actually am releasing now my new magnesium bath flakes. So these are the Origin of Greatness magnesium bath flakes. And I said, well, how can I take that step further? Me being a scientist, how could I take that step further to combat anybody who could say, well, what makes you different from Epsom salt? What makes you different from Dr. Teal's? What makes you different from what I'm already using, right? So then I said, okay, well, I looked into it some more and kind of know more about the herbal side of things and things like that. I said, I'm going to infuse it. So I have hibiscus infused magnesium, as well as I also have ginger infused magnesium as well. So hibiscus is very nutritious plant. A lot of people who drink, I like hibiscus tea. Hibiscus water is very good for the circulation, good for the blood. Magnesium, you get your magnesium supplement, or your body can take it in just from soaking. And that's another thing too. I'm like looking at athletes, people who exercise, people who, I'm like, we live a very fast-paced lifestyle. And whenever you actually sit, we have a connection with water that people don't talk about. So whenever you are exposed to water, your pores open up. You feel more calm. Like we don't swim, or it's just soak in water. We don't swim. We don't just float in water. So I was like, let me get something to where people can be able to slow down and let their body work while they don't have to. So I made the infused magnesium salts. I'm rolling these out now, but I'm going to have a fourth variant. It's going to be CBD infused, but it's going to be a oil. So what's coming next is going to be a CBD infused magnesium oil that will be a roll-on. And I'm going to maybe have like a mid-size where I'm going to have some maybe 10 mil on the goes that people who deal with a lot of migraines can use. So magnesium is also good for migraines. A lot of people are staring at their computer all the time, listening to music. You're on, working remote, Zoom calls, things like that. So our eyes, ears, we're having a lot of sensory overload, and our bodies are not always able to adjust because we're getting poor quality sleep, sleeping less, always on the go. Things of environmental changes. So what's coming next is going to be a CBD infused magnesium oil for people to roll on the joints, roll on the temples, to help sleep, help with reducing migraines, things of that nature. And that's from a product standpoint. I'm also going to be making general products for people who want to white label. I've come across quite a few people who want products but might not have the funds to actually work with me to develop them from start to finish. So instead of me trying to, find clients who might not be able to afford my formulation science services or consulting services to guide them through having their own product, as I've developed mine, I'll be making products for people to, buy in bulk, white label. It'll already be kind of pre-mixed already, and then you could just add your own scents or essential oils and put your label on it, and that'll be your brand, as well as manufacturing. So I have my own lab. I have filling machines. I have mixers. I have scales and things like that. So other businesses, people who are looking to do business to business, I'll be able to kind of help people who might be still like maybe manufacturing products in a small area, maybe their kitchen, and be able to kind of offer them the services of helping them upscale as far as manufacturing. So those are just things that I'm working on currently.
Yeah, I love that. Appreciate that.
Nice. Go ahead. Hey, Big Herm, you got it, man.
Yeah, so Miss Brandy had a question, and I kind of want to get into that. So we're going to talk about your actual company, right? How can people find out more information on your company, and what is your overall mission, the mission statement of your company?
So if you want to learn more about the origin of greatness, you can go to our website, theog.net. You can search us on Google. It'll take you there. Anybody in the East St. Louis area, our office is at 4601 State Street, Suite 170 in East St. Louis, Illinois. So the og.net is where you'll see our products. You'll be able to learn more about me, our merch that we have, things of that nature. But I would definitely say the overall mission that the Origin of Greatness is on is to not just make, cosmeceutical, cosmetic, or products to make people look good or feel better. The mission is about being able to expose people to the quality of simplicity, the quality that a lot of things that we perceive are high quality is largely because we associate having to pay more with quality, and that's not necessarily the case. So I'm looking to be able to, yes, I want to aid my people as well as people who have skin. So my products are not just for Black people. It's not against people who might be white, or people who might be from the Middle East, or people from any other race or ethnicity. I just come to understand that as a Black person, a lot of products are catered for my attention and my dollar, but not necessarily with me in mind. And that's why I stepped in this position, to be able to know where I am in the group of people that I'm a part of, to make products with my people in mind. Nothing against anybody else, but I understand the way things have gone and the way things do go. And I just want to be able to say, okay, well, this is the demographic. I know that this is a group of people that I identify with, and I'm making products with you in mind positively. I'm not trying to make it look like this is for you, but I really just want your paper. This is for you, for the betterment of you, for the better enhanced quality of life for you. And that's really what the Origin of Greatness is about. Is, yes, we want to make products that are accessible and useful to everybody, but we don't want to just continue to fall into the cycle of making something seem like, it's something that's good for Black people and it's really harming us, or we just want the Black dollar and it's not good for us.
There you go. There you go. Well, look, brother, I do appreciate you, being on. And as a matter of fact, I will give Miss Danny, you got the last word, ma'am. What do you think, or what do you think about this show? Why was this show important?
Oh, sorry for the delay. I'm just happy to see it. I know now I'm filtering you guys and what you guys are going to think with me saying this. I'm just happy to see.
Don't worry about us.
I'm just happy to see a Black young man successful. He is a disruptor. He's doing really cool things, and good for you. And I think it's important that you're just bringing attention to, skincare, a good healthy regimen.
So you're right.
God bless you, Brandon. Okay.
Hey, look, Brandon, man, listen, man, any last words, man, for our audience, brother, as you depart? We do appreciate you being on, man, but is there anything you would like individuals to know?
I would just like everybody to know that, I'm grateful for the opportunity. This has been a very great opportunity just to be able to speak to you all. Thank you for having me on your platform. Again, you can go to our website, theog.net. We have a physical location in East St. Louis, Illinois. We also are in a few locations within the Illinois region. So we are currently in Jacob's Herbs. We're in Exquisite Touch in St. Clair Square Mall. Our social medias are origin_of_greatness on Instagram, Origin of Greatness on Facebook, Origin of Greatness on TikTok, where we will be coming with a YouTube channel to show more of our production processes and things like that. This is just the beginning. We're going to keep it OG.
Keep it OG. I love that. Love that. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to conclude our episode of the Lion's Den with Seth. Listen, yes, and I do want to thank you again for being on, homie. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so before we go. All right, and as a matter of fact, Brandon, you stand by, okay? So before we go, we're going to tell y'all a little bit about the next show. Herm, are you interested?
Yeah, I am, actually. So check it out, man. A lot of times, and I'm not speaking to nobody, you know what I mean, in general, but people like to label other people narcissists, right? You know what I'm saying? When relationships don't work out, they say, well, he's a narcissist or she's a narcissist. So our next show is going to be, I'm in love with a narcissist, right? Hey, it's not always saying you might actually be in love with a narcissist, but we're going to have somebody on that's going to be able to talk smartly about it to let you know that, is it you the problem? You know what I'm saying? Are you the problem, or maybe it is your relationship? So the special guest for the show is going to be our audience members. We want you guys to bring the questions so we can ask our professional, you know what I'm saying, and kind of vet what you think a narcissist really is.
So again, you gonna be ready for this, Miss Danny?
I'll be ready.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that we're including the audience and their take on it too.
Man.
Yeah, what you think about it, Jabri?
Oh, I think it'll be a great show, man. A lot of people use the term, but I think a lot of people really need to realize they are the term.
That's right. Hey, oh.
Am I one? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I need to talk to the guy to see if I really am a narcissist.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So listen, here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. You know what it's going to be about. Make sure you are subscribing and you are where you need to be, okay? Because it's going down. Nevertheless, we do appreciate y'all, everything that you do. Again, we would not be able to do this if it wasn't for you. Right on. Later.
Right.